Welcome back to Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster. Here we are in the Flying Fortress. Kind of a cool concept for a dungeon in an early RPG. I wonder if these things are weak to holy. I guess we'll see. I wonder if their armor is very conductive to electricity. I don't think they're undead. They are kind of weak to punching. This does feel a lot like one of those games where your party kind of eclipses the strength of enemies pretty quickly. Because battles are not really being that much of a challenge right now. Razor. Is that a knife? No. What is that? A saber that casts Scourge when used. Knight, Ninja, and Red... Okay, that's a promoted classes only weapon. Interesting, but does that mean that's like other people can use the effect of that? I suppose we can try. Wait, no, you're already a knight. Let's see if I can have you use the razor. I mean, if this actually goes off before Duncan and Cetro kill everything. Well, it got rid of one of them. Does actually look like a poison-based spell, just like it does in... I mean, it's technically not a poison-based spell in 12, but... It's a sap-based spell in 12, but you get the idea. Second time's the charm with that, I guess. And double level up there, Noah and Teal. Like, I'm still thinking, like, I haven't really come up with much in the way of headcanons for these characters or anything like that. It's just, like, I mean, I could like, it's... I've done that before with, like with Pokemon Challenge runs and things like that. But, it's kind of hard to do that on the fly in, like, the middle of a live commentary series, but, yeah, I've heard of a lot of people who've done that with this game. Just, I suppose now that battles are a little bit less of a challenge and there isn't as much for me to talk about in some of the areas, or is there, because that Protect ring probably casts Protect. No, it's a ring that guards against instant death, okay. Oh, right, you already have one of those. Oh, you both have those. Protect ring actually makes your defense higher. However, yeah, I'm going to use that on Cetro. But yeah, it just, like, the way this game is kind of structured with the whole sort of, like, you creating your own party and stuff. Oh, we finally found out what Snort does. It makes you blind. And we still hit through it because we're awesome. But it just, like... It kind of got me thinking, like, a lot of games these days, they use kind of a pre-made party and that kind of thing, and some people still long for the days where you could kind of just make up your own story and things like that, and I kind of wondered if you could design a game like this nowadays, and then, I mean, it would be a big, asking the player for, like, a pretty big commitment. Let me just, I knew there'd be another Naga in this game, but, like, let me just, It'll all make sense, like, in a moment, but just, like, imagine a game where it's not just that you, like, you can choose your character's personalities and that changes their dialogue at certain points, but, like, but maybe even you have a game where you write the dialogue yourself. Like, you just, like, at certain points, there are just moments where it's like, the characters are interacting here. You tell me what they're saying. Like, and you, the player, get to write the dialogue. Like, again, it would be a big, you know, ask for players to have to do that, and it would often probably take up a lot of time, but... There's only so much that you can do with, like, pre-planned interactions. Like, even the most ambitious Western RPGs that try to say all your choices matter and things like that, they can only cover a certain number of possibilities. Like, they can, the voice actors can only record so many lines, and, The writers can only account for so many different possibilities. So having a game where you just have complete freeform to just decide all of the dialogue yourself, and like that you get to choose like the relationships between your like party members as well. Like you can choose things like rivals or lovers or family or things like that, and then just because I think it would kind of get around a certain thing where like oftentimes in a lot of works people end up really hating the canon couples and just don't like the way that the relationships are written. So wouldn't it be interesting if you I was just wondering when the Totally Not Beholders would show up, but like if you were given like a romance scene in the game, and the game just told you, okay then, you tell me how this romance works, you write it yourself. It's just a weird idea I had. I don't think... Okay then, that's that's not quite Behemoth casting Ultima levels of screw you, but it makes you guys lots... Okay, you're Death Knights, not Dark Knights. I actually need to kind of pay attention now. What was I saying before about, oh, these enemies aren't a threat to us anymore? The game clearly heard me. But anyway, that was just like a random idea I had. It's probably like completely impractical, and I don't think it could really work. Yeah, I don't think much of what I got there is better than what I already had. Of course, at the same time, like, if you're writing the dialogue, the, you know, animators would have to account for, like, animations and things like that. Huh, Black Flan. Definitely doesn't look as Flan-like as later FF games. But I don't know, like, tell me what you think about that in the comments. It's a weird idea that I had. Yeah, definitely seems like these things are probably more vulnerable to magic than physicals. Yep. City in the Sky dungeons have actually kind of become a thing in later video games. Like, the main one that jumps out to me is the one in Minish Cap. I know there's one in Twilight Princess as well. Both of those being Zelda, by the way. And this is like an alternate universe where the Zelda series can't exist because Link is dead. I've only just realized that's probably a joke on people calling Link an elf, the fact that that grave is in the elf village. I do like how you can see that the doors aren't there on the map. How have I not commented on the fact that you're a Death Knight? And we don't need Lysithea to defeat you. I mean, I suppose you could name a character in this game Lysithea, but... yeah. There is one the Death Knight fears. In his tongue, she is Spike, 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 Spike. Another ribbon. They're being very generous with those. Did I even get one of those in 12? There are ways to get ribbons in 12 that are, like, I think... oh, that's it. Ribbons in 12, I think, are a steal from the level 99 Red Chocobo. And yes, that's actually the enemy's name. The enemy is called level 99 Red Chocobo. And it's a very, very, like, it's a very hard thing to spawn. It's kind of, I don't think it's so much a rare spawn as it is, like, requires some very awkward, like, a lot of chaining and a lot of very specific enemies before it starts spawning, but, it's a thing, and I believe it either drops or you can steal ribbons from it. But the other way to get ribbons in 12, I think, is via the Hunt Club quest. And that's probably the most reliable way to get them. Didn't one of the Kingdom Hearts games have an even better version of the ribbon? Like Grand Ribbon or something like that? I feel like there was a Kingdom Hearts game that had a stronger version of a ribbon in it. Now, I do have to be careful of overusing my spells here, because... of course, I do have a lot of flares. And I probably won't need more than 7 flares against a boss. Yeah, you guys are very physically resilient. I don't really know what these things can really do back to us, though. Yeah, like, they don't really seem to be a huge threat. They just kind of require you to spend a spell to beat them. And I mean, I could have got through this floor way faster, but I want to check out the chests. Black robe. White robe. Okay. I'm assuming that these are black and white wizards only. Yep, that's black wizard only, that's white wizard only. Guards against fire and instant death cast Invisora when used. And that casts Blizzara, ice, and time irregularities. Okay. I assume that means stop and slow. Okay, that actually does the exact same thing as the Ruby Armlet, but it does guard against certain statuses. I wonder if there's like a clothes-only challenge for this game. That actually does lower my stuff. And with the ribbon, I'm already immune to instant death. But I do get a resistance to fire with that. So I suppose I'll take that. Now I'm wondering where, like, what legend Manticores originated from. I think they're also Greek, but just, I wonder what possessed somebody to make a creature that was, like, part lion with a scorpion tail on it. I definitely know that some mythical creatures are partially based on real animals that were unknown to certain cultures. Like, I think giraffes may have been the inspiration for Kirin. Like, horse-dragon hybrids, because I know the Japanese word for giraffe is Kirin, and the only reason I know that is Girafarig from Pokemon, which is called, like, Kirindiki in Japanese. I think I know what that is. I knew that was adamantite. Okay, we can go back to the smithy, who can't do credit. I wonder how many people got that joke I did in the thumbnail of that part. It's just, you know, phonetically written out Scottish accents are weird. Well, any accent written out phonetically is weird. Such as that one deliberate parody fanfiction that had a character's dialogue eventually devolve into blah 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 something southern. Okay, we have a golem here. There's stairs up. Okay, this floor's pretty big. But it's really more of the same, though. It's just rooms all spread out. This place looks a lot more closed in when you look at the map, as opposed to the actual in-game screen where you can see the sky. Don't know how different this would have looked on the NES. I looked at, like, when I looked at that guide to find the sages in the Crescent Lake, I did see what that town looked like in NES graphics, and surprisingly enough, it looks pretty different to this. Like, as much as this is like a pixel remaster that's supposed to be close to the original game, it actually does look very different. So, I don't think I can even use that. Is that ninjas only? I wonder if it is ninjas only. Sasuke's blade. Okay, that's very powerful. Yeah, that's ninjas only. Yep. So that was another weapon that I think was because that was the thing. Like, I think thieves and ninjas were affected quite badly by the critical bug because their exclusive weapons were supposed to have high crit rates to kind of compensate for their low strength. And I think Sasuke's blade was originally intended to have a high crit rate. However, it still has a high crit rate because it's a late game weapon, and with the index number, you know, it's these are like weaker than some of the things from earlier on in this dungeon. That's weird, but I think it was originally intended to have a high crit rate though, so the bug isn't really affecting it too much. And in case you're wondering, no, it is not named after a Naruto character. I believe this, I'm pretty sure this I don't know when Naruto started, but Sasuke and Naruto is named after a legendary Japanese ninja called Sarutobi Sasuke. They use the name Sarutobi for a different character in Naruto, the third Hokage, I believe. So I think Saru is a monkey, so I think it does have something to do with being as agile as a monkey or something, but yeah. Potion, Protect Ring, and Morgil. yeah, I've got quite a lot of gil. I'm kind of hoping that there's like another... Do we ever get level 9 spells, or does it only go up to level 8? Because I know that in Dungeons & Dragons, once you get up to 9th level spells, you get... Like, that's the part where you get the spells that can pretty much rewrite reality. And then you have Wish, which is so broken that DMs are encouraged to screw you over with your wording. Which is why you often have to make very complicated wishes, like I wish for a giant castle, and for me to be the legal owner of it, and for it not to be infested by enemies, and for it not to be ruined, and for it not to be in the past or very, very distant future when I'm about to die of old age, and not formally owned by a warlord who wants revenge. Just adding all of these clauses to make sure your wish can't backfire. I feel like, though, if I was ever a DM, I would only ever try and screw people over with wishes if they were really just trying to be. But, like, by the time that they've leveled up to the point where they can use wish, from this observation window, you can look out to the entire world. But, like, yeah, once the players have leveled up to the point where they can use wish, like, really, they should have free reign to do whatever they want. You know, I wonder if there was ever, like, a D&D campaign where, one of the players decides to, let me just quickly check out the Protect Cloak before I keep talking. It's a shield? Oh, worn over armor. I guess the only way that you could, like, make that work in this game is to make that a shield. Not great, actually. But it seems like most people can use that. Except for monks, because they don't like any equipment. That's a good idea, though, having, like, a cloak that goes over armor. Clothes? That was probably put there as a joke. Huh, what are all those runes? They didn't really do anything when we were in the desert, Mirage Tower. Okay, there is stairs going up. So there's nothing particularly esoteric we have to do here to get to a higher floor. We just need to find the stairs, but, yeah, I was talking about D&D stuff and, like, the wish spell and things like that. But yeah, like, I wonder if there's ever been a campaign where a player was going to make a wish that would have retroactively, like, erased a whole lot of... Like, I wish that this entire world was reset or something like that. Like, almost a Thanos-like wish, and to the point where the other players turned on them, and then, like, that player became the final villain of the campaign. That would be kind of interesting. Okay, those are different, and they can be interacted with. Analyzing Tiamat knows no weaknesses. Okay. No weaknesses. Okay, right. So yeah, no elements are weak against her. There might be some, but I guess it should be said that no elements are strong against her. But I like the lore implication of that, like, because we were, you know, this civilization was unable to beat Tiamat, so they were probably using their technology to try and find a weakness. Don't know why those manticores would have had a tent on them, but I won't question that. Whoa, okay, that's a lot of these things. And these things are dark fighters, not dark wizards. First I thought null all, now they're going to be immune to everything, but no. Guess these things are just a test of your DPS, because you have to be able to out-damage their full heals. You all say the same thing? It'd be kind of funny if one of them found a weakness, or if one of them was secretly reprogrammed by Tiamat and is actually saying, "Psst, Tiamat is weak to you jumping off this flying fortress and falling to your death." Over 1,000? Wow, okay, that was my first over 1,000. Which shows the damage cap is not 999, which is interesting. Sorry, I say interesting way too much. I kind of need to stop that. I think that is everything, unless we can somehow examine that window in the middle of this area. converging on a single point. Aha! The Chaos Shrine! Oh, wow, that's cool. Oh, and all of them are perfectly aligned with it. That's really cool. Yeah, I guess that's our main hint that, it was the Chaos Shrine all along! It was the key to everything! I mean, the original game didn't have the chest checklist, so it didn't have the interface spoiler of, oh look, there are way more chests in the Chaos Shrine than you can get on your first visit. Something else as well, that's another, but I guess bestiary spoilers are also common in games. If you look at the bestiary, you might notice that there are some later, like, enemies that appear later that say they appear in the Chaos Shrine as well as their initial locations, and that would probably get you suspicious as well, because you definitely don't see those things in the Chaos Shrine on your first visit, so yeah. Whoa, okay. Interesting. Is this a floor of maze? I hope I didn't miss the NPC that would give me the clue on how to solve this maze. Okay, an extra Phoenix down is not... Oh, no, that's where we came in, isn't it? That was where we came in. So this isn't endless. Oh, there is a stairway, okay. So we need to go past 1, 2, and then up, okay. 1... Not quite 2. Vampire Lord. In a lot of games that have Vampire Lords as an enemy type, they're usually really, really scary. So, I am hoping that these things die before they do anything bad. Okay, we did get a preemptive, but are we going to finish them before they... Okay, we did finish them, but usually they do something really bad, like some kind of mega life drain spell or instant death, or... Okay, that's 2, and I think we need to just keep heading up from here. Neo Choose. Kind of a weird enemy to be encountering this late. Maybe these were the gardening of the ancients that went out of control. Okay, here's the warp. So it wasn't like a complete maze area, it was just a little bit confusing. And I assume without a map it would probably be a lot more difficult. Yep, we're at the end. But first, fire hydras. I think there's like an enemy in, what's it called? Shining Force 2 called Pyro Hydra that's kind of dangerous, and I only know that because of speedruns. Speedrun is a relative term because it still takes over 6 hours. I believe that's an RPG Limit Break speedrun. It was pretty fun. That's another one of my favorites. Mostly because they sing lyrics to some of the songs, and it's one of the same people who sings for some of the Disney songs in the Kingdom Hearts speedrun, so they're actually like a professionally trained singer, so they do a pretty good job of it. And here is that last Fiend Orb. So let's heal up. I could use Ethers here, but I don't really feel like I want to. I'm so close to 600,000. Don't really think there's any other preparations I can go for, so... The Lich, Marlith, the Kraken. You have defeated 3 fiends and reached my lofty perch. Yeah, can we come here before beating the Kraken or not? Like, I wonder if we can do that. All the better. May the image of Tiamat, the Fiend of Wind, be the last to burn in your eyes. Okay, so actually there are 2 Fiend themes. one for Marlith and Tiamat and one for Kraken and Lich, it seems. That's still better than none. Yeah, that's a 6-headed Tiamat. Usually Tiamat, I think, has 5 heads in D&D. But anyway, let's see if this turns out to be not Scourge. I want, Saber. Terra. Oh, I kind of wonder if Null Orb... You know what? Okay, I was going to use Null... Like, Tiamat is the only reason I bought this, because I had a feeling that Tiamat, or whoever the Wind Fiend turned out to be, would use Thunder, so I'm going to go for Null Shock. And let's, before we do anything else with you, let's haste, let's haste you. And I guess maybe I can try that, the Strength Tonic on yourself. Okay, Saber is up. Haste is up. And Null Shock misses, because maybe we're already all resistant to that? That's weird. Okay, well then I guess you'll just attack. Oh yeah, Protera. Let's get that up, and then let's haste, Oh yeah, you got Saber and Haste. You just have Strength Tonic, so let's haste you. You know what? I wonder if equipping the Dragon Effective Weapon will help here. Ice Storm. Yeah, I'm guessing you use a lot of different elemental attacks, so I feel like Null All might be useful here. 20 hits, nice. Doesn't seem to be a shell in this game, so I don't know if Protect protects against magic as well as physical attacks. Yeah, let me just try something. Items, change equipment, Oh, I accidentally pressed the auto battle button. Which is actually really, really bad, because that means that you're just going to waste Protera again, and you're going to waste Haste. Heal might be useful here. Yeah, items, change equipment. Yeah, I don't think the Worm Killer's really going to do more than what I currently have. So, Healgar. I guess you can try Flare. I have a feeling that Tiamat's going to die soon, though. Oh, well, I actually got Flare off. It would be kind of nice if this did it. It did! Nice! Flashy finish. So, a little more HP than what we're used to, but still nothing we can't handle. Yeah, this definitely isn't like a super hard game overall. Yeah, Tiamat wasn't even worth a level up. And with that, we, can awaken the final crystal. Which, thankfully, is a good thing in this universe. Let's just say there are some universes where that's actually not a good thing. And with that, all 4 of them have been restored to grace. And now that we're out, yeah, I believe our only lead is to go to the Crescent Lake, or to go back to the Chaos Shrine. Oh, these things were... I should have saved, because if we beat Tiamat only to die to random worms in the desert afterwards, that would be really, really, really frustrating. I mean, there's an auto-save system, but still, that would have been really bad. But yeah, speaking of this game not being that hard, I have heard that 2 is pretty brutal, and 3's Final Dungeon Gauntlet is also pretty brutal. So, I mean, I guess we'll see if these releases tone them down thanks to autosaving, but I probably should be ending the part here, but I kind of want to see what's over at the Crescent Lake. Also, my ship is all the way back here. It's been languishing unused. Okay. So let's see, because they did say return here after you've restored all the crystals, and I did remember that, so... Okay. 400 years ago, blah, blah, blah. Try to do its proper end. Bring the light of the... Oh, okay. Rather than... I misinterpreted that. They were like, bring back the light of the crystals. Okay. So something went back 2,000 years in the past, and now it travels into the past again. Yes, I thought so. So, yeah, right, our hint is to go to the Chaos Shrine, but these guys give a little bit more context on why we need to go to the Chaos Shrine. I haven't actually stayed at an inn yet, although I kind of want to stay at an inn in Cornelia, because I've also remembered we have not used the princess's loot yet. And I suppose, like, if, you know, we do end up needing that to unlock the barrier in the Chaos Shrine, it's not too much of a jerk move if you've got to talk to her right at the beginning of the game, because the Chaos Shrine is, like, right near the starting area. It is kind of a common trope where the last sort of area of the game is pretty close to where it all began. I know that in Dragon Quest 1, the final dungeon is visible, like, right across the river from where you start. But let's go ahead and stay in Cornelia. One last time, maybe, because next time we'll be heading out to the Chaos Shrine, which is probably the gateway to the end of the game. I'm assuming we'll have to go through the Chaos Shrine now, and then we'll have to go through the Chaos Shrine 2,000 years in the past, and that's the actual final dungeon. And of course, you know, the one who, I was about to say would seize glory, but that's a different RPG. I may as well buy a whole bunch more Phoenix Downs. I mean, I'm not going to really be using much of this gold where I'm going. But the one who is behind all of this, who is controlling the four fiends and who fled to the past, yeah, I have a pretty good idea of who that is. A very good idea of who that is, and I think you probably all know who that is too. So, next time, we will be heading to the Chaos Shrine, probably not to confront that person just yet, but definitely to start the endgame, so I will see you all then.